once you start doing that, all of a sudden waiting in line at the post office or waiting in line at the grocery store, it's not something that like you just have to get over and be done with. It's now a sacred act. It's literally treating everything in your life as a sacred act. Because how we do one thing is how we do everything. The energy in which we bring to one thing is the energy in which we bring through to everything. Hello, hello, sweet, beautiful souls, and welcome back. Today, we are going to be talking about a topic that may trigger some people, but I say all of this out of love and also out of a lesson I am currently working through. So I never share any of these things on a pedestal. This has been absolutely medicine for me. I see this all the time with clients, and I really wanted to talk about it here. And this all started, I've seen this, I think we've all heard this before, but literally last week I woke up and it was the very first thing that I heard. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Okay. So again, something I'm working through, something I'm really becoming made more aware of and seeing in my own life. And as I've begun to really dissect my life recently and to look through all of the little ways, because I believe it's not necessarily about like the big grandiose things that we're doing like once a month or once a week. It's the little habits of every day. It's the little habits of every day. And that's why I think that this is such an important topic to talk about, because if you are struggling in any area of your health, your wealth, your life, your relationships, I would invite you to really begin to ponder this. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So we're going to dive in a little bit deeper, obviously bring in some things that my guides have shared. And, I really bring this up though, because I think it can be really easy to think that when we're working on the thing that we're struggling with, it happens in isolation. So it's like we work on the thing that we're struggling with, and then it's like, okay, I'm done with that. Now I'm going to go back to my normalcy and how the way I do things normally. But like, could that be the very thing of why you're not seeing progress? So let's take health, for example. Say you are working on healing some aspect, you have pain, gut issues, something of that nature. And you go to a chiropractor, you go to a healer, you go to your naturopath, you go to your acupuncturist, you go to a hypnotherapist, whatever. And you say, I'm really struggling with this issue. And they work their magic. They give you everything. They're like incredible healers. They provide so much value to you. You feel so much better. And then you go back, you go into your car, or you go back to work, or you go about your normal life, and suddenly you're thinking the same negative thoughts. You're doing behaviors that don't necessarily serve you, or you're having conversations with people that don't necessarily light you up. They don't necessarily inspire you, which is very common. And then slowly but surely, like this incredible session that you received has been watered down a lot because it can't hold the frequency. So it's like you shoot your frequency way up, and then it can't thrive. That frequency can't thrive in the normal homeostasis. So how do we begin to shift this? How do we begin to raise our frequency to match? It's really about frequency work at the end of the day. But it's about so much more than that. It's about so much more than that. And where this really comes in for me, I don't know why, but the area that I always think of this in, literally every time, every single week, I'm doing my laundry. I don't love doing laundry. I don't love doing it. I don't know if maybe there are people who do. And when I do it, I always just kind of like want to get it done. I always just want to get it done. And especially while I'm folding my clothes and like, this is, whatever. And I've started to really begin to shift my narrative. How I do one thing is how I do everything. So, what if while I am folding my laundry, I can do it with the same intentionality that I would sit down for a conversation with a client or my best friend, or with the same intentionality as I would go into a healing session, or with the same intentionality as I would do something that was really important to me. We're just folding a shirt, folding my underwear, folding my pants, whatever it is. So, what if rather than rushing through it, I had the same level of intentionality and reverence, respect, gratitude? Oh my gosh, I have clothes that I get to fold. I have a washer and dryer in my apartment that I get to wash clothes that I own, that are mine, that I get to now have smell so good. Actually, I use unscented. But they're gonna smell better because they're clean. And what a gift, what a blessing that I get to do this. And what if I could even do some energy work to my clothes? This is another little, if you're feeling like off in any way, like try Palo Santoing or saging your clothes. Clothes hold energy, okay? Um, and so what if that's totally besides the point, but what if you could begin to weave frequencies into your clothes so that when you wear them, you feel better? Right? It's about being intentional. So I will very vulnerably share. It's not that vulnerable, but I'm going to share for me how this has what I really noticed in becoming more aware of this, because I believe that I am not alone. And what I noticed is that when I do things, I'm going to stick to the laundry example. Um, I rush through them. I rush through them. I want them to be done because I have this perceived thought that it will be better once I'm done. But that is just a thought. That is just a thought. Why can't it be better now? And here's the thing, is it really that much better when I'm done? Sure, I can go sit down or I can go, and I usually like, it's usually like the end of the week, like Sunday night, I'm like tired, whatever. And so I'm like, I just like want to go sit down and relax. I've usually gone for a hike that day. And so I'm just like not in the mood. But then I started thinking, well, what if I could treat this as a sacred act? And I realized, here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing is that the energy in which you do one thing is how you do everything. Okay, so it's like that's the layer deeper. The energy in how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so for me, I realized, why am I trying to rush through everything? What's so much greater and grander on the other side? I realized that this is bringing me out of the present moment. And I see this with clients when they come to me and they're struggling. And here's the thing, like, it's okay, like, absolutely no judgment, because this is not something we're taught. We're taught that it's always better on the other side. It's very hard in this society that we live in to be fully grounded and satiated in the present moment. But that's what it's all about. It's about treating every single present moment like gold, like a gift, because it is. Who knows if we will receive another one? Who knows? And so as I have begun to really look at this myself, I'm seeing, oh my gosh, all of these areas of my life that I'm rushing, 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 rushing. What if I could just slow down, take a deep breath, and just really be present while I'm making dinner, while I'm folding my laundry, while I'm going for a walk, while I am talking with a friend, while I am waiting in line to check out at the grocery store. It's often a place we really want to just like, can the line just hurry up? Waiting in line at the post office. Oh my gosh, I haven't mailed something in so long, and I mailed something a few weeks ago, and I was like, why does this line have to take so long? And then I thought, I did kind of want to rest. What an opportunity could this be to just check in with my guides, check in with my higher self, see how they're doing, take some deep breaths, send love and energy to this place and to everyone in it. I love doing that. You'll start to notice people. You'll start to notice people shift. You just drive by or walk by someone and just send them love and start seeing, just notice what happens to them. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. And once you start doing that, all of a sudden waiting in line at the post office or waiting in line at the grocery store, it's not something that like you just have to get over and be done with. It's now a sacred act. It's literally treating everything in your life as a sacred act. Because how we do one thing is how we do everything. The energy in which we bring to one thing is the energy in which we bring through to everything. And so now I invite you to really bring to mind whatever area of your life you're working through: health, wealth, relationships, maybe all of them, probably all of them. If you're a human, there's always going to be next levels of being satiated and really truly loving our human experience. And so bring one of these areas to mind and think, am I really like just, am I bringing the same energy of dread, of rushing through it, of not being present to this area, to this relationship, to my finances, to my health? And so often, here's the secret to it all. So often, I can't even tell you how many clients sessions at this point, uh, it's I almost wish I'm like seeing in my mind like a tape recorder, like all of the people who have said this. Oh, it just wanted me to listen. My body just wanted me to listen. It just wanted me to acknowledge it. It just wanted me to like slow down for 5 seconds. And this goes for everything that you could be struggling with. It's like, if it's a problem in your life, it's energy trying to communicate with you. That's all it is. Everything is an opportunity to come deeper within ourselves and be open up a deeper dialogue with ourselves and our higher self, God, and the universe. Everything is an opportunity for that. And so it becomes harder to cultivate and receive these messages if we're not present, if we're trying to escape, if we're always seeking to get to the next and the better, the perceived better, right? But there is no better. There is no better than right here, right now. There's no better. Okay. And so I would really invite you as a little homework assignment, like to bring this to your journal and like begin to ask yourself and really get real and clear and honest. Like, what is the energy that I am bringing towards these seemingly mundane and little acts throughout my day? Getting ready, Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Getting ready. How could it be a divine sacred act of washing your body, combing your hair, washing your face, putting makeup on, putting clothes on? How could all of it be a divine sacred act that you approach with love and presence and nurture every single step? I mean, like I share you guys, this is like, oh my gosh, advice and insight and wisdom for me too, because um it's I think just the masculine like pace of our society is very like go, 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 go. We just want to get to the next thing. We got to get it all done. We have to-do lists. I get it. So I'm not like immune to the frequency of our society, but I am reminded to always check back in. And here's like, that's why I'm talking about this and that's why I'm bringing this up because I see this so often in others. And it's something I'm so presently working on myself because I don't believe that we can truly achieve this greater level of health, wealth, love if we're just hating where we're at. And that's where they say like you can't get to where you want to go by like hating yourself and not loving yourself. It's about the frequency and the energy. Like all of these things and concepts, they all really boil down to our core essence and core energy and loving and accepting ourselves, which loving and accepting ourselves is loving and accepting all parts of ourself, our environment, our situations, our where we're at, our perceived growth or lack of. It's about having radical acceptance and understanding and love, forgiveness for all of it, and knowing that you are exactly where you're supposed to be at all times. And sure, there's going to be a next level. Of course, there is. We always have to have, I think that's part of the fun of the human experience is having a next level to achieve. Unfortunately, we've just like demonized it and made it like this really this big scary thing that like if we're not achieving all the time, then we're failing. And that's not true. It's just not true. But I believe that if we can begin to weave in presence and really just intentionality, it's just being intentional with every single moment, every moment. How are you approaching every moment? How are you approaching getting on social media? That's a big one. I really just invite you to bring these to your journal, to bring these to your meditation and ask, how could the energy in which I bring to all things be shifted? How could I be a little bit more present? Because if you're working on one thing, it really does boil down to how you are working on everything. We think that's another part of our society is everything is like this compartmentalized box. It's like you're struggling with one thing, like you go to the eye doctor. The eye doctor does not tell you about gut health, but really, I mean, there are a few. There are some really great eye doctors who maybe do holistic eye doctors. The one that I have seen previously has not talked about gut health. I mean, they did talk about omegas, like taking fish oil. So I'm not going to like discredit them, but that's just like how our society works. This is like an eye doctor and a throat doctor and an ear doctor and a all of the parts of the system, like an endocrinologist and all of these things. But it's like everything is connected. Your gut health is impacting your eyes. I don't know if I've ever shared this, but when I found out that I found out I was allergic to gluten like way before it was a trend. Like way before. Like back in, I've been gluten free for like almost 18 years now. And literally the main way that I found out was I started getting these crazy painful, really weird bumps on my eyelids, like the inside of my eyelids. And this is totally off topic, but I'm going to share this story anyways. I started getting these weird bumps on the inside of my eyelids. And so I went to the eye doctor, and the eye doctor told me, you will need to take this prescription eye drop. There's $100, and it was like this big, like literally the size of like half my finger, like my thumb. And it was $100 for like 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. And he was like, and it'll just be a condition that you live with for the rest of your life. Okay. Thank you. So I started taking these eye drops. Did they help? Yes. Like, they kind of helps the pain. Oh, but he also said you probably won't be able to wear contacts again. Okay. How funny that I'm talking about this today and I don't usually wear my glasses. So funny. So ironic. So synchronistic. And it's because I was out in the sun too long yesterday. My eyes hurt. My eyes got a little burned. Um, anyways, so I cut gluten out of my diet. I then found out I was reacting to gluten. This was back when there weren't all of these tests and things, but I found out about gluten. So I stopped having gluten. Literally 2 or 3 weeks later, bumps on my eyes, completely gone. Completely gone. Completely gone. I went back to my eye doctor and he was like, I've never seen anything like this. What did you do? I told him what I did. And he was like, blown away, amazed. So here's the thing. I share this story because we are not compartmentalized human beings. We are a whole being. Our life is a whole, all-encompassing, ever-evolving, ever-expanding evolution. There's a word I'm looking for. Ever-evolving, ever-encompassing experience. And to think that we can just work on one thing when we go to our healer or when we are intentionally working on it is just, it's just not the case. It's not the case. It's not. How we do one thing is how we do everything because we are all connected. Everything is connected. So giving someone a compliment that could help your relationship with your partner. Was it the same person? No. But you are sending out that energy. Thus, you are signaling to the universe, this is how I would like to be in relationship with others. So then don't be surprised if your partner all of a sudden gives you a compliment when you come home. It's not a coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence. And with our bodies, if you, like for me, I noticed that whenever I'm really, really rushing through things is when I don't feel good in my body. Because it's like my body is like, slow down and be present. And that's what I was sharing too. Like anytime I do a session with people's bodies and their health, like I cannot tell you how many times their bodies have just asked them, I just wanted you to acknowledge me. I just wanted you to listen. And you weren't listening. Literally just the act of listening and becoming present with our bodies, becoming present with our lives, becoming present with our laundry, becoming present while standing in line at the grocery store. How can everything be a sacred experience? I believe this can shift your life. I really, really, really believe this can shift your life. And so I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know, what area are you going to start being more intentional? Hopefully it's everything, but list one below. And of course, let me know you're listening over at I am Jasmine Elise. Go ahead and give this video a like and a thumbs up. And until next time, I am so sending you all infinite love.